Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Wisdom Circle, our monthly get together of 6 of us. We've lost Joan for the moment, but hopefully she'll be back shortly. SunPsychic Jean, Terry Suzuki, Terry Lee, Heather, thank you guys for being here. Today, I'm going to read our little thing. Welcome to the Wisdom Circle. I'm Priscilla with my co host Heather, and we'd like to welcome our fellow circle members. Our goal is to share, support, and validate each other, as well as others who are following a spiritual path. We're here to share and discuss spiritually related theories, experiences, information, and perspectives from diverse backgrounds and points of view. We hope to make you laugh, to feel included, and maybe gain some insight or perspective on whatever is happening to you on your spiritual journey. Our individual paths are unique. No two of us are the same. So please take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And remember, this is for entertainment and spiritual purposes only. Today, our hostess with the mostest is Miss Terry Lee, and we're going to talk about how we can love our enemies, which I think is a fabulous subject right now. So thank you, Terry Lee.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I think it's a fabulous subject. And I have to be really honest with you. And I'm telling you the truth. When these things come up and I have to do a show, I always just leave it to the guides. I'm like, I don't want to try to do something trendy. I don't want it to come from my head. I want it to come from you.
Right.
And when they gave me this message, I was like, oh. And they said it. How to love your enemies. This is what we need to do. And I'm like, okay. And the awesome thing for me is such a gift is that when I get this information from them, I'm getting the challenge as well as all of you out there. I've been working with this and I'm going to tell you something right off the bat. I'm still working on it. Okay.
Me too.
All of us.
Yeah.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge. But when you start taking that step up, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is like stepping into the purpose, the reason why we're all here. Oh, I get it. And they gave me so much more than what I'm going to present today. But I just want to throw this in because I've been watching Gaia. Divine Science. I highly recommend it. If you can get Gaia, it's an amazing streaming network.
It is.
And all topics of science and information and spiritual development. Enough said. But in this one Divine Science episode, I started to watch it and I went, oh, this is what's happening. This understanding that there is a grid of consciousness, and science is beginning to understand this too. They're pinpointing it. We all are connected through this beautiful grid of consciousness, good and bad, right and wrong, truth and lie, all of this kind of stuff, war and peace. We're all connected, and those of us who are here right now, who have been given the knowledge of what's really happening, we have been given a challenge. And the challenge is to take this information we're getting and not just go, oh boy, never mind. That's for saints and gods and, no, that's for us. Oh, we're here. We're the light warriors, and this is why we're here. And whether you're just in your apartment and you never get out, and you're like, well, I don't know how I participate in this great light warrior business. You can participate in it mightily. You don't have to get out in the crowds. It's wonderful to get out and be amongst people. It's wonderful to go out and protest. It's great. But get out there and know your mission. And that's to love. So here we go. I just got chills off that. I love it. Okay, well, we're going to get started. This is, and I called it on my computer in my folder, the Enemy Project. How can I love my enemy? So many of us go, well, I don't have any enemies. Do I? Do I have enemies? I don't know. Well, let's start with the definition of an enemy. Oh, I hope I'm not missing that one. And no, I'm not. And there it is. Okay. So, what is the definition of an enemy? Now, this one came from the dictionary, good source. The definition of an enemy, a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something, the traditional enemy of his tribe. That's an example. A hostile nation or its armed forces or citizens, especially in times of war. The enemy shot down 4 helicopters. The enemy could be a thing that harms or weakens something else. Routine is the enemy of art. That's an expression. But I loved this one. You can be one's own worst enemy, act in a way contrary to one's own interest. And I think that's a challenge for us as well. I just want to welcome everybody who's coming in out there. I really, really appreciate you showing up and want to give you a big invitation to comment, please. We're not doing any readings today. We're talking about how I can love my enemy. So your comments are more than welcome. Okay. So we're going to go to something that I picked because I felt like, well, the guides just told me to. It's kind of a good place for us all to start. Many of us are familiar with this quote from Master Jesus. The quote from Master Jesus is, "But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven." This quote came from the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5:43 through 48. Here's the teaching. Jesus is challenging the traditional understanding that you should only love your neighbors and hate your enemies. The challenge, he instructs his followers to extend love and compassion even to those who oppose or persecute them. It was interesting when I was putting this back up. I thought, I kind of forgot that persecuted part. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, persecution, that's someone who comes after you, is out to get you, has no value for you, your life, your family, your possessions, your soul, no value for you. That's someone who can persecute someone else. And often it's something that happens again and again and again. Hi, Joan, by the way. Welcome. We're glad to have
So glad to have you, Joan.
you. All right. So this is a familiar quote to many of you and maybe not to everyone, but that's a good place to start because at the time Jesus said this, there were many things that are very similar that we can relate to today. We're going to go to another part of this and bear with me as I find it. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I think this is it. Here we go. Okay. So Jesus says that by loving your enemies, you will be demonstrating the same kind of love that God shows to all people, both good and evil. As I wrote this down and was talking to the guides about it, that whole point, the same kind of love that God shows, the Creator shows, the source of all things in all of the universes, shows to all people, both good and evil. That's kind of something, huh?
Yeah.
During Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, the cultural landscape was marked by Roman oppression. Now, I want you all, I'm sure you've seen a movie or two. I've Saw quite a few when I was growing up about those days. And the Roman oppression, a society valuing honor and shame and violence, as I might say, and a population largely composed of impoverished farmers and laborers, with Jesus challenging the existing religious and social structures. I try to imagine sitting there at the Sermon of the Mount, and being one of those impoverished farmers who probably had suffered at the hands of those in power at the time. And it must have been like, what? I mean, can you imagine how they felt? It must have been shocking to them. How,
Yeah.
how does that happen? How do we do that? Do we have any comments up to this point?
We actually have quite a few comments.
Right. We need to look at some of those.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, first of all, Amanda says, "Oh, I love this topic. I aim to send love to the dark ones, but I struggle with my own sincerity. Sometimes I just ask my angels to do it for me."
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. This is a really interesting one. "I don't believe you should send energy and your love to certain energy vampires. I believe that you are actually feeding them, and that keeps them in power longer and to hurt people longer."
Okay, let's.
I'd like to say something about
Yes,
this.
please
I
do.
totally
Please
disagree
stress
with I totally disagree with this. And the reason I disagree with it is that energy vampires suck low energy. They're not sucking out love. They're not able to reach that type of energy level. So when you're sending love to the energy vampire, you're actually sending healing energy to them.
That's
And they
correct.
can't feed off that in the way that they feed off your anger, your sadness, your depression, your anxiety. Those type of lower level energies is what attracts energy vampires, in my opinion.
And your defensiveness.
And
I
I'm
might
going to say, along with what she's saying, when you think about transmuting into love, it takes love to be able to transmute what you're not wanting them to be into love. So if you don't send them that love and overpower them with your love, they can't transmute. They can't get better. They need that love to become what they need, what they would be better to become.
I think it's important to honor this comment just for boundaries' sake, because I understand, energy vampires. That's a term, and want to be careful not to label people, because each soul that's on this planet has had a journey. They get to where they are because of certain things that have happened to them and certain things that they were taught to believe. Okay.
Mhm.
So nobody says, I want to grow up and be an energy vampire. Usually these people have fallen into ruts and habits and ways of behaving. And we need to use our common sense when we send them love and we pray for them. But that doesn't mean we let them run over us, or first of all, they can't suck your energy. I totally agree with that. No one can suck your energy. Anger can suck your energy, and hate can suck your energy. I'll just say that. But you have the power, and it's your choice to give that power away or not. We'll leave it at that. Any other comments, ladies? But I appreciate that comment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joan.
Oh, okay. I was, my take on it was just, if you can't do it specifically to people, to just send out love and light to all humanity. And that will encompass them without kind of getting your hackles up about it.
Yeah.
Pray for the enlightenment of all mankind.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And if you pray for their healing.
Yeah. Okay, one other one real quick that I have. I hope you guys are starring things if I'm missing them. Bernadette would like to know how you define real love on a spiritual aspect and in a human aspect.
Okay. Any of you other ladies want to take this on? Well,
I will.
okay.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
It's to me, well, I'm not quite sure I understand the question. Are you trying to say it's different from human as to spiritual or physical love? If that's what you're talking about, to me, spiritual and human love is unconditional love and
Mhm.
unity consciousness. It's a love that you had, that you feel, that's not sexual, that's not about a person in particular. It's just like the love that you feel, say, for your pet, how unconditional love for your pet is. To me, that's what spiritual love is. And to me, that's also what human love is. But I'm sure others would have other opinions about that.
Well said.
Yeah,
Well said.
and I was going to say when we talk about spiritual love, even though it is a church word, agape love, God's love,
That's right.
that's the spiritual love.
Mhm.
That's God's love, agape love. You love everyone, everything. Humans, again, I don't know if you're meaning physical, because a human can spread agape love.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I think that is the challenge.
mhm.
Heather,
It
did
is.
you have some
I
more to say?
agree.
Heather, did you have anything more to say, honey?
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead back to the thoughts we have, and then we'll come back to that because there's much more to say about that, at least from me, as to what I've learned doing this project. So, is just being polite loving your enemy? Is just wishing them well, loving them? And here's where they got me. The guys did this. How do we pray for our family, our children, our dear friends? What depth of love, I'm going to start crying, for others can we attain, and what's in it for you? I think that's a way we look at it lots of times. Like, well, I'm not extending my spiritual gifts to these people. I'm
Hmm.
not wasting my time. This is why we're here. And we're being offered a challenge to step up to another level. How exciting is this? This is really exciting. And that whole thing they gave me about, how do we pray for our family and our children? Now, if you're a parent, if you have a family, which I'm pretty sure you do, you might have some people in your family who made really, really poor decisions. They hurt people. They hurt themselves. They may have hurt others. They may have hurt you in ways that you can't even imagine you could ever possibly forgive. I'll tell you who taught me this was my ex-husband. You can't even imagine it. I mean, I could start telling you things, but what's the point? What's the point? And I got to a point with this person. I would hear horrible things about what he did to other people years after we were separated. And a thought came to my heart. I'm really so sorry his soul hasn't advanced. I'm really so sorry that his soul hasn't really learned that the pain he's causing is really the pain he's causing himself. And
Mhm.
sad to say he passed on that way. And, we have to understand and realize we're all souls. Also, I'm going to make this point quickly. All creatures, all beings, all things on this planet, birds, dogs, animals, people, we're all creations of God. We are all reflections of God. At some point you start to get this and you go, oh, okay, yeah, it's all God. It's all reflecting God. Now, here's what my guides gave me. I kind of like snakes. I don't know why. I've always kind of thought snakes were beautiful, right? I've always admired them. I'd looked at pictures of them. Would I pick up a snake? If it was one I knew that couldn't hurt me, I would pick it up and throw it out of my yard. In fact, I have done it with a stick, a big stick. But if I know that snake is poisonous, I'm not touching it. I can honor it. I can respect it as a creation of God, but I know that snake is dangerous to me, so I don't take its energy in. I don't be offended by it. I just wish it well and avoid it, right? Same thing with the lion. You don't step into a lion's cage, but aren't lions beautiful creatures? Don't you admire them? Don't you see them as a creation of God? You know, so many people have made horrible choices and choices that affect all kinds of beings on this planet and creatures and Gaia. Horrible choices, but we can pray for their enlightenment. We can stand in the light and uplift them. And yet you still have to respect them as a creation of God. Ooh. Now, what do you think of that?
I did the same thing when I lived on the farm. I did the same thing as you with snakes, but I used a hoe because I could get underneath it and it would go there and toss it. I said, "You're perfectly welcome to any of this land around. Just stay out of my yard."
There you go.
It's in there, you know.
But did you spend any time hating that snake?
No, they're good. They take care of rats. They take care of a lot of things you don't want. I just don't want them where my kids can step on them.
Yeah. I love that. That was the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about all those things. I thought, yeah, that's the way it is. Now, I'm going to go back to that last comment. We don't have to show it, but you know,
Which comment, honey?
What's in it for you? So we're leaving that last question from the last board. What's in it? What's in it for you? What's in it
I
for me?
really never thought about what praying for somebody else was what was in it for me. That part never occurred to me. But thinking about that, it's what's in it for me is peace. Peace.
Yeah. And I agree with her. I never thought about it that way before. But when you think about it, when you're sending love to somebody else, it automatically is like your hand. It comes back to you too.
That's right. That's right.
So, you know,
And I also recognized I don't send that same love and healing energy to the part of the family that I don't talk to. Big mistake. Big mistake.
Yeah. Well, it's a choice that's there for you. It's a choice that's there for you. And the reason why I included that what's in it for me is because we're often motivated by, you know, well, why should I? Why should I do
that's
that?
our human side to me.
That's ego. Yeah, that would be ego, wouldn't it?
And
I
at
always
this
think if I'm sending out love to my family, to the planet, whatever, what's in it for me is raising the vibration for the collective.
beautiful.
The
Exactly.
main thing that I choose to do that for is to raise the collective energy.
And it makes everything around us lighter, brighter.
Yeah.
And
In the past, we felt this way or we reacted this way. We came from universal love and we chose to come to this planet. This is, you know, I often think of this planet sometimes like, you know, the competition games they have where people have to cross Europe or whatever.
Mhm.
That's kind of the way this is. It's very dense. And I think it's known amongst the spiritual worlds as one of the toughest places to be, to learn a lesson.
What they say.
Yeah, they say it's the hardest school.
That's right. So everybody pat yourself on the back. Okay. But we were taught that, you know, you do this because this happens to you. You do this because this happens to you. And if you do this and you behave this way, this is going to happen to you, you know? So we have those expectations. So what's in it for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it's all about. That's not what it's all about. And we've slowly, I'm sure, through our lives, each and every one of us have learned that lesson, that we've done something outside the norm that has blessed us. And the other person may not have ever gotten it, but it blessed you. So that's why I picked this Mandela quote, which was so perfect. Let me pop this up. Come on. Okay. Please bear with me. I'm clicking away and it's not coming up. Wow. Guys ever had this happen?
With the energies that are around right now, anything can happen.
True.
Let me see if it shows. It's actually showing.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Thank you, God. All right. This brought it all to bear for me. As I walked out the door, this is Nelson Mandela coming out of prison, okay? We're talking years of torture, starvation, beatings, suffering. I can't even imagine what it was like. As I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew that if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
What an amazing human being he was.
Yeah. What a beautiful example for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from years of suffering, but what a beautiful, powerful thing to share. I see something by Jill. You guys see that? She said, yeah, it did the same for me. Labeling people, not anymore. Let them be themselves. If I do not, just move on. Right? Understand that what we're talking about today is a blessing for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift for you. It's an invitation, as Master Jesus did, to step up into a higher love, a higher knowledge of who you are and why you're here on this planet. Okay, ladies, any comments on that?
Well, I like what Jill says here. She says, we are all not spiritually awakened. So what is in it for me is not relevant if one is awakened. And I feel that to a certain degree, we are aware of our own divinity and we have touched the love on the other side, the divine love and the divine spark and the connection between each and every sentient being on this planet and off this planet, we will have grown above or past the need for choosing who to love and who not to love, who to be resentful against. Not to say it's different from having an emotion or having a reaction. It's natural to be mad. It's natural to be disappointed. It's natural to be hurt. It's natural. All of these things are human traits. We're talking about two different things. It's not our emotion or our reaction. It's overall, after everything is said and done, they are a human having they are a divine soul having a human experience.
Yes.
And this is what, when we are awakened or have this awareness, we can rise above and have that perspective. We can keep it at a distance. We can be an observer and not not in the fight, but above the fight, but it doesn't release us from the need to feel resentment or hurt or if we're being offended or feeling controlled or feeling manipulated. These are our feelings, and these are the emotions, and the cause and the effect is natural, but it's how we process it. It's what we do with it. It's whether we carry it as a grudge and begrudge, and just like Nelson Mandela said, am I going to carry this bitterness or am I going to just let it go? And we're not saying you have to be saints and say, turn the other cheek and say, oh, you want to fight me? Oh, just kill me. That's above and beyond. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that even with everything that's that is considered, that at the end of the day, we know who we are. If we know who we are, if you truly know who we are, you know who they are. It's hard. It's easy to forget. It's easy to be, feel a certain way at a certain time by certain people. But at the end of the day, we have to, I'm not have to, but it's important to remember that higher perspective. And
Yes.
it gives you grace, and it gives you distance, and it really gives you that peace.
Beautifully said, Jane. It is so true. And the thing that we're offering, and that's where that what's in it for me. The thing that we're offering here is like that quote from Nelson Mandela, is to be free from anger in response to horrible things. Now, I'm going to step up here and say, I'm a Libra. I love the scales of justice. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've always, you feel like you want to just fight for justice and for peace and comfort and for everyone to have all the benefits that you hope to have, your family, to hope for your family and your friends to have, right? That's all okay. We are in, it's almost, I don't want to say it's like a play, but it's a training camp, basically. We're in a training camp for souls. And we're asked to step up and see things the way the Creator sees it and has arranged it for us to experience.
With love and compassion, not anger and anxiety. And, it's two choices, fear or love.
That's right.
And we know that love is the only thing that can transmute the negative, the hate, the fear, all of that. So if we choose love and compassion for those, our enemies, then we're helping them transmute themselves.
That's right. And might I add, love is power. That's the one thing we grew up being taught was, defend yourself, be a tough guy, and love is actually the power. Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, I wanted to say, getting back to what's in it for me, we went through all these things that happen that are good for us. And we even had somebody say that if you're in the process of ascending, that doesn't even apply to you. And I wanted to say that, yes, what's in it for me, they are those things there, but that's not why we send love. That's what the quote, what's in it for me, has nothing to do why we send love to others.
No, that's actually correct. And we're not asking anyone to be a footmat, get walked over. TERI, yes.
Well, when I have to go down to the what's in it for me, when I get down to that particular point, what I often ask myself is, when you're on the other side and you have to go through a life review, do you really want to go over this again? Do you really want to see what you did to them and what they're going to do to others because you did that? And I'll be like, no, I really don't. So, okay.
Good point.
Easier to forgive right about that point, because it's like, I don't want to do it again. Don't want to have to. So I'm going to let this one go with love. And, that's one way that I will, when I'm kind of really looking for the what's in it for me, I'll at least go to there to stop myself.
That's smart.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's really smart.
Yep.
And by the way, TERI, I love your hair today. Whatever color you have on it is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Just had to throw that out. I love this. Jill says, yes, TERI, take care of your karma here.
That's right. That is right.
Here's another interesting one. Spirit gave me a message that's so relevant to this topic. To all those whom have hurt me and wronged me, I do not wish you ill. My wish for you is to heal. And that's beautiful. KK.
Very nice. And we do have that power to bless it To witness it, bless it, and send it on its way. That's a saying. I believe I learned that from a Buddhist master that came to visit our valley. Witness it. I see it. It's not a good choice. It's harmful and hurtful. I bless it as part of what's happening on the planet right now. And I bless those souls who are misled and ask that they be enlightened. And then you send it on your way. Yes, Joan.
My sister had a little addendum to that one. Her refrain was, "God bless you and send you on your way, preferably far away from me."
I think that's what
Not
you have to
insistent.
do with family members that you can't deal with, or anybody really, but family members. I noticed in the chat some chat about family members. Don't be around, you don't have to be around them. You can send them love and avoid them. You don't have to be
Mhm.
around people that don't treat you correctly.
No.
They don't treat you with respect, love, and compassion.
No.
You do not have to stay in relationships like that. Walk away. Turn your back on that situation. My advice, anyway.
Beautiful. I love that. And the first rule is to always love yourself. You got to start there. You have to start there and forgive yourself for all the mistakes you made. Oh, I often say, why do I have to have a life review? And sometimes when I go to bed at night, all the stuff comes back. And I'm like, I already reviewed that. Okay.
Can we just let that one be gone?
Yeah. We're all, we're all, we're all the same. Really, we're different, we're beautiful, we're unique, but we're on this same journey on this planet, and it's so important to understand that. And that doesn't mean you have to surround yourself with news and things that are disturbing to you either. And that's not putting your head in the cloud. That's just being smart. That's controlling your energy.
That is self-love.
That is self-love for sure.
Self-love.
All right. Well, we're getting down there, so let's see what else we got left here. Okay. I'm so lost with all of this stuff. It's beautiful, though. I love it. I love it. Okay, we're going to move on from the Mandela quote to a quote by the Buddha, Master Buddha. Hatred never ceases by hatred. By love alone does hatred cease. That is the eternal law. So we have the ultimate power for all the stuff that's happening on our planet right now. We have the ultimate power, and that's love. That's love. Even for those who are doing unspeakable things, that's love. To pray for the enlightenment of mankind. Whew. Powerful stuff, eh, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, I'm going back now. And I'll see what else I have to propose. We're going to go, oh, yeah, okay. Now we're going to go deeper. The guides brought me this show right in the middle of all of this investigation that I was doing. And I cried. I was like, this is so perfect. So let's get into it. Paul Selig, if you're not aware, is a channeler who I greatly respect. He channels his guides, and I love his guides with all my heart. They give the most beautiful messages. And I'm going to read this little piece. I've picked it out from a presentation, and I hope we have that link, Priscilla, that I sent. I hope we have that in
I'll put the link in the description of the YouTube.
Beautiful. Okay, so if you want to see this whole presentation,
the bottom of the description of the YouTube video.
Yeah, if you want to see it, you can go to that link because it's definitely worth the time. Okay. Honoring all beings. You cannot pick and choose who is of God and who is not. Nor should you decide one should be shunned or not. Some of you decide the thing through coercion or through family heritage. We always do this. This is who we are. We always hate them. Your regard for that level of choice is born in separation and fear. It accrues more and more evidence of its necessity to penalize some and to bless others. Your regard for another human being, who and what they truly are, must now be seen as sacred. Ooh. Gives me chills, y'all. Okay, I got a little more here.
I can't imagine being raised to hate other people. I mean,
And yet it happens all the time.
and yet, yes, I understand it does, but I
I
just
mean, that's where
so far beyond what I could, my imagination, raising
that's
your
where
children to hate
discrimination
others.
comes from.
Yep, that's exactly right. Good point. Good point, Heather. Okay, so here we go. To regard the inherent holiness of another human being is to enter the kingdom. The regarding of the other, whoever he or she is, as of God, is a mandatory act for anyone on this path. To know God in them is to claim the presence of the source of all things. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's so powerful to me. It just stopped me in my tracks. And that's when I realized, you're being asked to step up. You're being asked, we all think, oh yeah, we're in the kingdom. We believe. But that's truly the kingdom that Jesus was talking about, that Buddha was talking about.
Yeah. I like what Jill said.
Let's see it.
Each of us has a piece of God in us. Namaste. I bow to the divinity within you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I really have to admit, I mean, when I first started to learn things and study different religions and stuff, namaste. Namaste. But would you say namaste to certain people who are dealing out persecution like they're cards?
It would be very difficult face to face. I can do it from afar.
Thank God
Face
we only
to face,
have face to face.
not so much. So maybe I'm not really being authentic. I don't know.
No, I think it's important that we remember our boundaries, that we remember our own sovereign divinity and authenticity. There's another word I'm missing there, but there is an inalienable right for us to protect ourselves and to
Yeah.
have life, love, and happiness. And there is when people are interfering with that, there is a boundary and there is a distance and there is a
Mhm.
correction that needs to be made. We're not saying love what they do. We're not saying let them do what they do. We're not even saying be happy with what they do.
Nope.
We're only saying that to consider that the universal or the divine has a hand in it, and that there's a reason, and that we need to love everything, because everything is us and we are everything. But it's at a level, it's a perspective that is above all that. It has nothing to do with what they do, what they didn't do. It has to do with so much more. And it's a perspective and it's a concept. It's not an action and it's not an emotion. And it's for us to consider that we feel this way about somebody who has done something against us so outrageous and it has hurt so many people. That's not what we're asking. That's not what we're saying. We have rights to feel and to defend ourselves and to be ask for correction and demand that things be changed. This is our right. And perhaps that's why they're there, is so that we can find our own strength, so that we can say, we don't want this. We don't
Yeah.
want this for anybody. We want something better. We need to combine and love each other and work together and stop hiding in our homes and come out and work in our own communities and love one another at the level in our own communities. We're not saying there's no way anybody will ever get me to say that I love what this person is doing or how they're acting or what they're doing to people. That's not what we're saying. That's something totally different. What we're saying is there's an above. There's an above. There is a higher perspective, and it's really difficult to understand both sides of it. So,
It is. It is difficult.
That's
and-
correct.
and,
That's right. And we're not saying either, and if I could add this real quickly, there's no need to get them to agree with you or like you or show you any sign of recognition at all. This is a request from the Creator as to how to spiritually feel and behave. But we don't need to change them. Let them be on their course,
Mhm.
right? We let them be on their course, and we can stand against it, as Jean said, most certainly do that. Okay, I'm sorry, Heather, go ahead.
okay, just forget it.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, I lost it. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because, I kind of found that a little bit about my ex-husband, just, for a period of time wanting to say, God, I just wish at some point he would recognize my side of things, or at least, and finally I realized that's not what you're supposed to do. And it's not necessary. We're powerful in our own self. And I feel that was well said, Jean, because nobody here is asking you to bend to anybody or bow to a certain creed that someone has that you're against. That's
So that's about boundaries and what you allow into your life and what you don't.
that's
I
right.
think Joan wanted to say something.
Yeah, Joan, you got something?
Well, just the whole idea that at least for me, it makes it a little simpler that we're all here for experience, and it is like a play. And there is no good story, whether it's a novel or a movie or whatever, without a bad guy. And that's where the character development and the emotional and spiritual development happens. It's like, okay, this is happening. How am I going to respond to this? And if my response is just anger and vitriol, it's not going to hurt
Doesn't
the
help
other
anything.
person. It's going to hurt me. So there's kind of the some of what's in it for me. But this is just the reminder that we all play our role, and some of the difficult things that we go through, that's what we came here to learn. So
That's
I
right.
love that. It's so true. And we have to remember we're all part of this quantum energy that is God.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't get away from it because each and every one of us is part of that quantum energy. And
Mm-hmm.
however you want to look at it, we're all attached to each other. We're all part of each other. And the only way to deal with that is with love and compassion, with your boundaries. Each of us has. I've been gone through a lot of anger and anxiety and pissed off and furious and
Oh, me too.
nasty comment, nasty things in my head for the last few months. Gradually, I've managed to work my way through the mud and remember who we all are, and all of this is happening for a particular reason, even if we don't know what the reasons are.
That's right. Wow.
And
Well
Spirit
said.
has our back. We have our back. And besides that, this is just temporary. It's all temporary. This is a play we are all in. We've been in this play for many, many lifetimes. It's not the same on the other side. We're here for a particular reason. That each one of us came here to deal with this shit, whether we like it or not. We decided to do this, and don't take it personal. Because it's going to be all over. This lifetime is a blink in all the lifetimes that we have, in the millions and millions of years that we've been a spark and part of that matrix. This is nothing. We got this.
So that's so perfectly said. And would we be having this conversation if we weren't experiencing what we're experiencing right now?
True.
And have been? I think humankind, and that's one of my favorite things. Ask for the elevation of humankind. That's because it's on a cycle, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
It's on a cycle, and we've been asked to step up and use this power now. And all the knowledge and information we have that generations before us, I don't know, some of the ancient ones probably had some too, but we have it. We got it. We got the tools. Well, look at us here, communicating with each other all over the world, sharing this with each other, all sharing this experience together as souls.
Amazing.
Perfect segue into this. There's this song by Old Crow Medicine Show. I would listen to my playlist as I walk, right? I walk my dogs and I put some beautiful music on. And this song, it's called We're All in This Together. And it would come on. And every time this line was sung in this song, I would cry. I would just break into tears because, some of the people that are really doing bad things, making bad choices, are in pain. It all comes from fear, It all comes from fear. And that's why, to me, this is such a powerful line. And if you're not watching this and you're just listening, the band is Old Crow Medicine Show. The song is beautiful if you ever want to look it up. It's called We're All in This Together. We're all in this together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. And when you cry, I taste the salt in your tears. So many people who have adopted a creed and perhaps were innocent in a way, wanted something and accepted something that was really basically an empty promise or a way out or something that would elevate their life. They're on this journey too, and they're learning the lessons they're here to learn. We're all in this together. And it really is the line between faith and fear. I choose faith. Fear sucks.
Fear definitely sucks.
Fear sucks. And that is at the base of a lot of hatred,
Yeah.
So we're walking the line. We're holding the line. Everybody here. I love it. Wiki says, hate the sin, not the sinner. Beautiful line. That's it. That's the core of it. You can hate those things that hurt others. And believe me, as I said, a Libra, it's really hard. And I'm still working on it. Jean has something lovely to share as well. We want to squeeze that in here. Jean, you want to put that on?
I didn't think we had time. I took it down.
Oh,
sorry. I don't have it ready.
It was another lovely line by the Buddha.
Yeah.
And the message has been coming down from the Creator, the guides and the angels for centuries. The message has been coming down to us. And so many of us right now are being blessed with this knowledge. We're being blessed with this knowledge that we have. And peekaboo. I just was very grateful to receive this message. And as I said, I'm still working on it. I hope you'll all consider it too. Hey, and if you don't like it at first, just, put it in the back of your brain, let it sizzle back there a little bit, and ask your guides to help you understand, because they will bring things to you as they did this to me and now to all of you, to help us understand and to help us become a part of the kingdom. Right?
Yeah.
Any other comments, ladies, or people in the chat?
Let's see. Wiki says she's a work in progress. The best I can do right now is to thank them for the lesson in my life. That's a great thing to do, Wiki.
It's a good step.
That's brilliant.
And
Jill
we
said-
are all works in progress.
Absolutely. Love them does not mean party with them. Amen. Just understand they may be in pain and one should not feed it by being angry. One has to be neutral and tone down the issue, apologize and move on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Control your environment. That's something that Spirit's teaching me very powerfully right now. Control your environment. You don't have to be involved in hate.
Exactly. Then Jill says, remember, we're all connected. Even the enemies are in our path for a reason. That's a big one. And that's a big one for right now. And our enemies are definitely our challenge to work through right now. You got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we become immune to their misdeeds, and we have all done misdeeds, I imagine. So again, compassion feels good to me.
There you go. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Okay, let me see.
That's sensing the true spirit of what's behind it. When you start to feel elevated and you can walk through the grocery store and you're like, oh, I love that person. And I can love that person over there too.
Yeah. Delphi says we're all God, and God is in us. Be nice. If we were able to let that God that is in us shine all the time, it would be amazing. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And Debbie says we each have paths. Sometimes they have to split and go into different directions. Acknowledge and let go. Remember the good times and walk away without hate. That's beautiful, Debbie.
I
Thank you.
love that. Well said, Debbie. That's a real gem.
I think that's all I've got. Does anybody have anything else?
Just that sounds like it came from someone who's walked several paths.
Yeah.
So that's really deep,
Mhm.
Debbie.
And I guarantee you, each and every one of us on this panel have been hurt in ways we don't care to share. because
absolutely.
we let it go. But
Let it go.
we've all been hurt deeply. And
I don't think you can get through this life without getting hurt deeply.
yeah.
More than one time.
Mhm.
And I mean, I did study astrology, but when you think about it, we've all gone through Chiron. They
That's
hurt
right.
to heal.
Mhm. That is absolutely right. So
Seems
we're
like
all,
we're going through a big Chiron right now.
oh boy, are we?
As a collective, even.
As a collective, yeah.
I have to look at it as a big opportunity, though,
Mm-hmm.
as a big opportunity, and I loved the people.
Tell
I'm
me
gonna
what's
say it.
an opportunity for, Terry Lee? Self-growth and learning how to deal with hate.
Strength.
Manifesting something better.
I love
Actually
that.
thinking about what it is that we want.
Strength and the acknowledgement. I just loved, I have to mention it, some of the signs I saw in the protests that happened recently. They were all peaceful. I love that.
I love that. Nothing, no violence, no anything.
Mm-hmm. And some were pretty, I probably have said it in the past, but I don't say it now. But I love the one that says, this is about right and wrong. This is about right and wrong.
Yeah, it's not about color. It's about right and wrong.
Colors, groups, idealism. This is about right and wrong.
Yeah.
We don't feel like anybody deserves to be hurt in any way. So that's what we stand for. And we just do that in love. Oh, that beautiful love of the Creator.
Yeah.
I feel so fortunate that I am with a group of people that has felt that love and knows what that feels like. I wish everybody on the planet could have that experience. Just once in their lifetime, it would change everything. If they could just feel that love for a second.
Keep praying that prayer.
Yeah.
And I agree
I love
with
Amanda
you.
Carroll's statement. Yeah, that is beautiful. What?
Mhm.
Bravo, Amanda. Perfect thing to end on. Our love is stronger.
Thank you, Anita. She says it's been a beautiful life. Thank all of you for being here today, and thank all of you for your comments.
We do appreciate them.
And I have to thank the panel, as always. Our spirit and our guides worked through us to put this together, and I'm just so appreciative of you.
I'm so appreciative of all you ladies and us getting together once a month to do this. It means a lot.
And there is a reason we're all together.
Yes, there is.
You betcha. So thank you, Miss Terry. That was a beautiful presentation today. And please go check out the video that she sent. Like I said, it's at the bottom of the description of this video. It's an amazing video by Paul Selig. And ladies, do you have anything else you'd like to share? Who's going to be on where, when?
I would like to share. In about 15 minutes, Jean and Joan and I will be on the Magic Monday show.
Yay,
On my channel.
Mondays.
Yay. So I can go over there and get readings?
Yeah, you can get a
Yeah.
reading
All
over
of you that
there.
wanted readings in the chat, you just go over to one of these ladies' channels because I'm
go.
sure this simulcast. And
Kigaru's channel.
Kigaru.
One
Okay.
of mine.
Channel for their show. Yeah. And I'll be on live Wednesday. I read live every Wednesday, 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific.
I don't know how
And
you read on your own. You're amazing.
and a special appearance of the Psychic Triad will happen this Friday.
Awesome.
So be sure to check our channels for info on that. I'll be putting the banner up for that soon. And that's 3, count them 3 psychic mediums to read for you. So
3 amazing psychic
And you don't
readings.
want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a good one.
special.
Anytime you can have a reading from any of these ladies,
Oh, good.
it's
And
all good.
tomorrow,
Well, Heather and I are on tomorrow with Authenticity at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Friday, we have Valerie to talk about, I think it's the full moon that's coming up. I've kind of forgotten at this point.
It's full moon, yes.
Yeah. And then we have, let's see, that's Friday because the full moon's on Saturday. And then Saturday we have Gerald. That'll be a trip. But that part two with Gerald. I'm excited to have him back. And then Sunday, Heather and I are on Allie's channel. And then we're on hiatus for about 6 weeks while I go pick up my van in Boise.
yeah.
Idaho. So I'm going to get to visit with TERI Lee on Sunday.
I'm going to get to show you this beautiful valley. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I know. I'm really excited too. It's going to be a blast. Anything else, ladies?
I'm on tomorrow with my friend Melinda Kordich, who's an actor and artist, talking about creativity.
Cool. Fun. And what time is that?
It's on my channel somewhere.
Okay. Check out Wisdom Seeker Joan. Links to everybody's channel is in the description of this. So please, please, please go check out these ladies' channels. We appreciate it very much. Next month, we'll be on with Heather and Ley Lines. That'll be our subject for next month.
Oh, I love it.
That'll be exciting. Yay, May. It's coming up. Spring. Yay. I love it. Anything else, ladies? Again, thank you, TERI Lee. Thank all you ladies for being here with us every month. We so appreciate it. And if there's nothing else, I guess we'll say good evening. And thanks for joining us. Go out there and spread your love.
Yes.
We love you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.